Hello, 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 and welcome. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Joanne's Healing Within. I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, medical astrologer, master of numerology, the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast deck, also the founder of Holistic Fitness, located right here in Queens, a mother and a wife. And we're still in 2022. Reality of it all is, what do we have? Less than 7 weeks before we move out of 2022. Oh my God. Can we say that again? Oh my God. I cannot believe we're almost towards the end of the year. Anyway, before I dive into all that, I'd like to remind you to share, like, and comment on today's show. And if you happen to have missed the last episode, which was 2 weeks ago, where I had my amazing guest Tammy Moss on, who shared about what are the signs of hoarding. Feel free to go back and watch, and you could do so by watching right here on Facebook, YouTube, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV. Oh my God, there's so many platforms. But yeah, just to name a few, right? So yeah, you definitely want to go back and watch her because it was an amazing show. And I believe we all know at least one person that struggles with hoarding. In fact, even I do, and I didn't even realize that it was something. But we all have a little hoarding in us, so perhaps we can figure out how to heal that problem. And Tammy Moss can definitely help you, as she's helped me in all of our many conversations we've had. So with all that being said, again, go and watch if you missed it. And again, share, like, and comment on today's show. Super excited. Want to give a shout out to the many partners that I do have that help to make the show run week after week after week. So we're going to start it off, and I'm going to be reading it off just based on how the the partners flyer looks, so you can just read along with me. So we have Jill Mockman, who's our shamanic healing practitioner and a wellness advocate. CJ Ives Lopez, she is the publisher and podcast host of the Author Sports Magazine and podcast. Kitty Foss and Amy Martin, both are the hosts of Intuition of Your Soul, of the Soul. Nick Rafter, real estate agent and editor, writer, and journalist. Kendrick Greer, he's our in-house astrologer. Then we also have Tammy Moss, who I just mentioned before. She's the founder and chief encouragement officer and founder of Hoarding Solution. So those are our amazing partners that make our show run week after week after week. Super excited. So now that we got all the important stuff out of the way, let's talk about the energy. What's going on this week? But what I really want to highlight for this week, not necessarily the planets, although yes, we're going to have an amazing, massive shift taking place. After all, the sun is going to be leaving out of Scorpio season and moving into Sagittarius. But I'm going to leave it at that because today I want to really focus in on the numbers. The numbers. Today's date specifically, when you think of that number, and I like to write the date out as a number. So we think of that 11/20/2022. Now, it's interesting to me that there's a lot of people out there, when they talk about dates, they always write it out as 11/20/22, and they miss out on that 2022. And that whole number, based on a year, is extremely important. Because for one, it carries 3 twos. And that two, those 3 twos are all about the partnerships that we are creating, that we've created in this year, especially with self. The energy itself adds up to a 6, which reminds us that this was the year and still is the year, because we still have 7 weeks left of it, or less than 7 weeks, to heal, to nurture our mind, body, and spirit. And what does that look like, nurturing your mind, body, and spirit? It really is about taking care of you, putting yourself first. And I know that might be a weird concept for many, because we're programmed to believe that when we put ourselves first, we are being selfish. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. If you do not fill up your glass first, or for example, put on your oxygen tank first, you are no good to no one. So it's so important to utilize the remaining portion of this year to implement a self-care practice into your regimen. Now let's talk about today's date, that 11/20/2022. Now we have 4 2s in today's energy. And when you really think about it, that 11 is also a 2. But it's all about the master healer. And I never actually took the time out to actually add up what the actual date is. So I'm going to do that right now on air with each and every one of you. When we think about this, this is an amazing energy of a 10. But before we go into that, let's look at that 2020. That 2020, when a number repeats itself or is a mirror of the number, it reminds us of the partnerships that we do have and that we are all in this together. And those zeros are really important today because it's reminding you, reminding me, reminding us that we all have choices. There is nothing that we do that doesn't have a choice. You get to choose. You're never limited to one way of doing something. And if you've never heard that expression before, I want you to remember it today. And if you've heard that expression before, but you really never paid it attention, I want you to remember that today, because that 0 is a reminder that you always have a choice. Deciding not to do something is a choice, and we always have a choice. And sometimes the choices that we choose at the very moment are the right choice for them. That doesn't mean necessarily it's time to beat yourself up because of maybe in the long run, it doesn't really fit what it is you wanted to do, or you thought it should have gone a different way. It was a choice you made then and accept it for exactly what it is, and whatever choices that's leading you to your journey. And that's exactly what this is all about. So when we think of today's energy, that 11, the energy of November, is all about how you heal from within. You're the master healer. And all of these twos are your partnerships. The partnership you have with your neighbors, your community, your family, your friends, and the spirit realm. And remember that that's part of your partnerships as well. So know that today's date carries a vibration of 10, which carries the energy of Capricorn, which is your soul's purpose, what you're here to achieve, what you've accomplished so far, your success, your fame, that masculine energy, what we need to do. But also remember that along with the masculine energy, you also want to utilize your feminine energy as well and be open to receiving support from your partners. So with that being said, I'm going to pull a card and see what one chakra you're going to work on today so you can be in alignment for all that's coming. Because we do have some amazing energy moving in remaining portion of November, December, that's Scorpio, Sagittarius energy. And let's see what's in store. So our card for today happens to be in reverse. Reverse cards mean we need to pay attention to the message, but we might have a little resistance in reference to the color. The color is associated with the root chakra. It is so important to stay grounded, because by being grounded, it helps you to be more balanced. And by being more balanced, it helps you to make decisions. Remember that 0 in the energy where you have choices. You have a choice. You have a decision to be made. And only you can make that choice. And whenever you do make a choice, that choice leads to your freedom. Freedom is based on that 5 energy. The changes you decide to make. Only you can make the change. Only you can have that choice. No one gets to decide for you. Do not leave your choices up to somebody else. Move into your freedom. Ground your energy. Focus. Focus on what it is you wish to have. And after all, today's amazing energy, you have the help of the planets and also numerology. So I'm going to leave you with that for today. So I am super, super, super excited to share with you my amazing guest that's coming on in just a bit after we go to this commercial break, but not just yet. I'm really excited to bring her on. Today's title, which goes perfectly along with what I just said, is What Color is Your Rainbow? What color is your rainbow? And I know that each and every one of you have seen a rainbow or two somewhere in your world. We're going to learn a little bit about rainbows today and how that all is along with my amazing guest journey. So I'm going to take a commercial break so I can get a little water. Gives you time to get some water too. Remember to share, like, and comment on today's show, and I'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer. How are you all doing today? Remember, share, like, and comment on today's show. You'll definitely have to come back and watch from the beginning because I shared some amazing insight based on today's show, based on the energy. But what I would like to share before we move into today's amazing topic is our card for today. However, the card was in reverse. Those of you who are new to cards, when a card shows in reverse, it's reminding you that there's something you got to pay attention to in the message. But in this particular case, it's also a reminder of what the color is associated, which is the root chakra. And it's reminding us that it's really important to be grounded, balanced, which then helps us to stay focused on whatever decisions we need to make. Because every single day, we have to make decisions. And in our date, the energy of the date, can't even speak right now. Lost my train of thought. Representing the zeros is reminding us that we have choices, but we have to be grounded in order to make decisions from those choices. So definitely go back later and watch from the beginning to what I shared. But for now, I'm super excited to have my guest today. I'm so excited to have this guest. There's many reasons to why. Two I'm going to share. Based on her title, it is the first time I think ever in my 3 years, almost 4 years of being a host, that I got to write the word badass for my show. I mean, hello. Anyone that walks around with a title saying that she's a badass, well, that's a lot to be said right there. So that made me really excited about today's show. And also, it's the first time she's here with us. In the almost 4 years that I've been hosting, this is her first day with us. And she's going to be back for two additional appearance because this is a transition into a healing demo. So hang in there. And I'm going to turn the tables over to her so she can introduce herself because she's got a very interesting name. And of course, I have this fumble with saying people's names wrong. So by all means, go ahead and introduce yourself so I don't say your name wrong.
Hi, everybody. I am Deborah Beatty, and I am the Badass Color Mystic. My primary program is the Betrayal to Badass path, and I bring that into my coloricity all the time. And coloricity is about, I'd say a 20th of that whole program, but it seems to be a really unique, engaging process that a lot of people are asking for more information about. So that's what I'm doing.
Excellent. So if you wouldn't mind, Deborah, if you can share your journey to how this even came about.
Yeah, it was kind of Well, I was born with the ability to perceive people as color. I am what's called a synesthete. I have synesthesia, which means sensory input takes a left turn when it gets to the brain. Other people that are synesthetes can taste music or um, smell colors, that sort of thing. I mean, it's brain chemistry taking a side road, if you will. And I've always been able to do this, and it isn't seeing auras. I can't see auras. I've tried. This is something that's different. And there are some correspondences to the colors that have been allocated or relegated to chakras, but the meaning behind them, the attributes behind the color rays are a little bit different. For one thing, I work with a spectrum of 9 colors. And so anyway, I was born with this ability, and over my lifetime, I noticed that the people that I saw maybe as blue were the communicators. They were the ones who talked a lot. The people that were green wanted structure and process and didn't like change. And, those kinds of observations. And I put it all together. And about 8 years ago, somebody told me in all their wisdom that not everybody can do this. And it was mind-boggling to me that I had something that was different. And so I worked and I've kind of created what I call my coloricity system to be able to help other people get to know themselves on a level that usually isn't available to them. And I do natal charts, I do color card readings. I've created a deck out of this.
I was just going to ask you about that, if you
Yeah,
created a deck yet. So talk to us about that deck. And just out of curiosity, do you have that deck with you?
always.
Of course. Why would you not?
Always I have it. And yeah, I created a deck using the 9 colors and their 9 attributes. I created avatars that went with them. And so my deck is an 84 card deck. It has 9 colors, 9 avatars, and 3 power cards.
Love it. Love it. And if the audience were to want to purchase your deck of cards, where are they available?
They're available on my website, createdlife.com, as well as on my on Etsy. And if they come to see me at events, because I do a lot of events, I always have them with me.
Oh, excellent. I love that. I love that. And you said there's 84 cards in your deck?
Mm-hmm.
Now, because I created a deck as well, and I know for me, my process based on the number of the cards and everything else, there was a process behind. Why 84 cards?
Well, like I said, there are 9 colors, and each one has an attribute. So I, for instance, pulling one of them, I have a blue harbinger. Let's see if I can get this.
Yes.
And so each of the attributes has an avatar. So that would have brought it to 81. And then 3 power cards that amplify whatever the daily card is, or I do single card readings, 3 card pulls, and 9 card pulls. So based on those, the power cards will amplify whatever it is that the present card is.
Now, when someone's coming to you for a reading, what would be a reason why someone would come for you for a reading? Because I know when people go for readings, there's so many different reasons to why a person wants a reading. So because your cards are very unique, what would be a reason why someone would want to do a reading with you?
Well, a lot of the time that I see people, they have a question, because most of the people come to me for 3 card readings, and that's just past, present, and future. And it can be their past life, or that can be this life, but they recognize that something, maybe from their past, is influencing their future, or they're present, and they just like to know what's coming up, and it's pretty, they just looking for guidance most of the time, not exactly concrete answers, because I mean, you can't give concrete answers with just cards. There's a lot of intuition that goes along with it. So
Definitely. Definitely. I love that. I love that. So I know that you mentioned before how they can reach you to get your cards, but since we do have to take a commercial break, give that information again in reference to that website.
okay, my website is createdlife.com. And I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm Instagram. I've got a YouTube channel. You can find me on all of those places as well.
Excellent. So you're pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, I try to be.
Excellent. Awesome.
There's also, you can call me direct. We can go low tech and call me on the phone. My number is 503-689-1336.
Excellent. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, Deborah is going to share more about her journey, her deck of cards, and so much more from there. So we'll be right back.
Are you ready for solutions and connections? If so, I can help. Hi, I'm Tammy Moses, and I help the peripheral people resolve hoarding issues in a holistic way. I would love to connect with you and learn more about how I can help in your unique situation. Please send me an email to thehoardingsolution@gmail.com. I look forward to connecting with you.
Hi, I'm CJ. The Author's Porch is a community where you find good books and good people. We collaborate with services that deliver quality to authors and publish a magazine for authors by authors. Come by, let us feature you or review your book. Coffee is always on, and no matter what time you arrive or where you come from, the porch light is always on.
Hi everyone, I'm Kitty Foss.
And I'm Amy J.
And we're Intuition of the Soul. We are a Facebook and YouTube group that has created a sacred spiritual place to look at your spiritual practices.
And there's too much to tell you about what we do, but let me tell you, we have weekly activities, we have monthly activities, and you are not going to want to miss our spiritual practitioner series. So join us on Intuition of the Soul.
Aloha.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, and I have my amazing guest, Deborah, here with us, as she refers to herself as, and I just love saying it because why not? She's the badass color mystic, and super excited to have her here. Now, if you are just tuning in, you're definitely going to want to come back and watch from the beginning, but do that later. And you can watch it right here on Facebook, YouTube, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV, and many other platforms. So anyway, as Deborah and I were chatting before, in regards to her amazing card deck and the work that she does, and that she has this unique gift in regards to not necessarily reading auras, but just being able to see colors, shall we say it? Being able to see colors. So, Deborah, in regards to when you do card readings, I'm sure you've done probably hundreds of card readings since creating this deck. Is this your only deck you have by any chance?
So far.
Okay.
I'm in the process of creating 2 more at the moment.
Yeah, I asked that question, and it wasn't something I was going to ask, but I was literally flicked on the back of my head by my mother. She was nosy, my spirit guide, wanted to know. Ask her if she's got another deck, because I feel like she does. So I answered, my mom's
Card decks
okay.
are like potato chips. You can't have just one,
Exactly. So with your experience of reading cards and sitting with as many people as you do sit, have you, what have you witnessed with your card readings?
Oh my goodness. I have one particular person comes to mind. I did a reading for her at a psychic show in Portland, and she came to me because she was having trouble with communication and getting out there, and she didn't understand why nobody wanted to talk to her, or people were avoiding her. And so we took a look at things, and one of the things that she mentioned to me was that she always wears black when she goes to work.
Oh.
And I said, okay. And so we did her reading, and part of what came out was in the past there were obviously some wounds and she felt like she needed to protect herself. And in my color system, black is a dampener. It protects coming in and it protects going out. You can wear it to dampen your own energy as well as the energy of people that are around you. And I suggested to her that maybe one of the things she might want to do is try wearing a different color shirt, just, under a jacket or whatever, so that she was comfortable. Well, I got to see her again at the next time we did the show in the area. And she says, oh my God, her whole world had opened up because she was an engineer, and she, of course, had to do a hypothesis and all of the testing. And she says, okay, on Monday she wore blue and everybody wanted to talk to her. On Tuesday she wore yellow, and people wanted to ask her, because yellow is the color of reason and intellect.
Oh.
And so yellow people were talking to her more about what she knew and looking at her expertise. And, they were looking to her to be the local expert, so to speak. And, so each day she tried a different color, keeping in mind the attribute of that color. And and then on Friday she wore black again, and it was back to people not wanting to engage.
Oh, wow.
And she said it was all because of this, and she bought her own deck, and she does a card of the day, and based on the color that comes up on the card of the day, that's the color she wears to work. And she's still sending me emails about how this changed her life. And it's just color's really important, I mean, it's part of our languaging. I mean, you talk about feeling blue or in the pink or green with envy, and we don't even realize how much color is a part of us.
Yes, that is true. Now, if you wouldn't mind, you mentioned that you use 9 colors, and I know the chakra system, theoretically, most healers use the primary 7. There are theoretically 12, but what are the 9 colors that you use?
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, rose, and gold.
Ah. And would you mind giving a like a one-word description to what they would mean if somebody were to wear, let's say,
sure.
rose?
Sure. You want for rose? Rose is experiential wisdom. It is an upper octave of red, which is the primal I am energy and really self-focused. Rose is an understanding softened by living. You've come all the way through the visible spectrum, and so there's an innate understanding of what each of those brings you as far as wisdom and knowledge. And it's an understanding of the life process and what needs to happen, and it's blending the physical with the spiritual.
Nice. And just out of curiosity, only because again, it's not a color I wear, but what's gold? Because hey, I might need to wear it.
Gold is completion and beginning. It's starting, it's coming to the end and beginning the next. It's also the color of the master teacher. It's not necessarily enforcing your message on others, but laying down the information so that they can follow their own journey. It's a deep understanding of humanity and spirituality, and it resonates with the energy of the 9, which is also a very important number. But for the most part, I always say when you get that for your lessons, it's either a circle or a spiral. You come around to where you began. If you haven't learned the lesson that particular circuit was there for, then you get to go around again. If you have, you elevate and you do it on a higher level.
I love that. And it's so interesting because as you're saying gold and of course completions and beginnings, it makes sense now to why so many people on New Year's often wear gold. Like blouses or dresses that have like that gold glittery, now it makes sense. I wonder if half of those people who are wearing gold during that time are even aware of why they're wearing it.
No, and the color energies are so ingrained within us that a lot of times we will react to them, say without even knowing what they really mean, but we're guided nonetheless, because where they come out of what I call the color body, which is another spiritual body that all humans have, that innate understanding can be unconscious as well. It works on the subconscious more.
Yes.
And it's just a really deep, it's like, what's your favorite color? What does that mean? People's favorite colors are usually either something that they have a lot of in their natal chart or something that they need.
Interesting.
Because you're trying to draw them to you.
Yes, interesting. It's really interesting because for me, I do my best to avoid wearing black when I'm on screen. Like I wear black, like when I go out and about, I wear black. But like if I'm doing, like I'm here on the show, under my white, there's color. And I always do my best to wear color, like vibrant colors. I like loud colors. And I mean, for my opinion,
I noticed that about you.
Yeah, my
woman
opinion,
after my own heart.
Yes, I wear it because for many, many years back, I was always very quiet and theoretically shy. But now it's like, okay, I want to wear those vibrant colors when I walk into a room, although I've been told I don't need vibrant colors for this now. I want people to know that I'm there. People know that I'm there because my energy is loud. So it's like, yes. So I love this. I love the whole process of colors. And I do believe that their moods change when they actually have color on versus wearing, let's say, black or gray.
Right.
They're more uplifted when they are wearing, let's say, red or that orange color or green. And theoretically, I say too that someone who is wearing, let's say, green specifically or even orange, that's vain. That's like, you don't see too many people that wear green unless it's, Christmas or St. Patty's Day, But yeah, I love that. So we do need to take another commercial break, and you and I could probably sit here and talk about color all day because it's one of my favorite topics. But let our viewers know how they can reach you.
They can reach me through my website, which is createdlife.com, and that's created, not creative. And they can call me at 503-689-1336, or they can reach me at contact@createdlife.com. Simple email. I'll get back to you if they want to schedule a reading or they'd like to get a natal chart done. I can do those, and maybe when we get back, I can talk a little bit about what those are.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm everywhere. I'm on Facebook. Most social media, you can find me.
Excellent. So yes, so anyone who wants to reach her, on the flyer, her website is there, And I'm sure it has all the information that she just mentioned, that one way or another you'll find her. So we're going to take that quick commercial break. And when we come back, Deborah is going to share a tip. She's going to talk a little bit about the natal charts. And if she's open to it, I'm going to give her a reading. So we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Joe Monkman, and I am a personal development trainer. And that means that I help people step into their leadership roles, take their place as a visionary, really understand their own mastery in the world so that they can really find their place at the buffet of life. And if you want to know more, you can find me on my Facebook page at Joe Monkman and joemonkman@gmail.com.
Hello, my name is Nick Rafter, journalist, writer, editor. I'm happy to be offering copy editing and line editing services at competitive industry rates. If you have a book or any document that needs to be edited and thoroughly looked through, please contact me at nickrafter@gmail.com. Let's discuss how to get that work done. That's Nick Rafter, NICKRAFTER, @gmail.com. I hope to hear from you soon.
Hi guys, I'm Kendrick Cortez Greer, personal astrologer and astrological counselor here in Brooklyn, New York. I've been an astrologer for over 23 years now, providing astrological readings, counseling sessions, workshops, and corporate events all throughout the tri-state area. I've been very blessed and lucky to have clients all throughout the United States and beyond. If you're interested in a reading that is warm, heartfelt, honest, and conducive to speaking to one of your best friends, please contact me at 917-863-7528. You can also email me at kendrickstar@gmail.com. That's Kendrick, STAR@gmail.com. And for you Insta people, find me on Instagram at Kendrick Cortez Astrology. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Toodles.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. I have my amazing guest, Deborah, here. She is our badass, and I have to flip it back each time. Her title, and I have to say it all the time, she's our badass color mystic. Now, if you are literally just tuning in right now, you definitely want to come back and watch from the beginning, because she has shared a lot about what she does, her journey, and that she's also created an amazing deck of cards, which we're going to still continue to talk about. And during the commercial break, we were chatting about the colors. And we were talking about the color orange, because in theory, I don't know if any of you are noticing that Deborah and I have something in common. I have an orange wall, and Deborah has an orange chair. And then, of course, we just found out from the voice behind the scenes, his favorite color is orange. So, Deborah, share it out to what does the color orange mean?
Well, orange happens to be my favorite color, and it's the awakening of reason. It's huge about balance. People that are born under orange can walk into a room and instinctively know when things are out of balance, and it makes them uncomfortable enough that they will turn around and run away. It's just an instinct about things need to be at balance. They need to be at that point. People that are orange are natural diplomats. They have a power of persuasion. It's what I like to say, it's living in that nanosecond between inhale and exhale when nothing exists and everything's possible. So orange is all about possibility. And
I love that.
Yeah.
I now like orange more now that I actually know what it means. Love that. Now, before we go into you giving a tip for the viewers that they can use immediately, let's talk about natal card readings. Let's talk about that.
Okay. One of the things that I've started doing is I do a full coloricity report based on your date of birth, your name at birth, and then also the name that you currently use. Within that, it's like a 20-page report, and it's very, very telling, if you will. But what I've started doing is also natal charts. And natal charts are loosely based on a numerological mathematical algorithm that I developed. And they will tell you who you are in the world, how you show up for the world. They'll talk about what is your motivating, what your instinctive motivation is when you're faced at a crossroads. You don't necessarily have to follow it, but it's the way you respond first. Your secret self is who you are when you think nobody's watching, or that you can be true to yourself 100%. Most of us tend to like to keep those buried and protected, but when you know who your secret self is, it's a lot easier to be able to access the things that you're up to and the things that you really want, your secret desires, what will light your world up. And then the last thing is is the lessons that you're here to learn and what surrounds you. And so the natal charts have been really, really popular, and they're quick, they're easy, and can talk about, the colors that affect you. And interestingly enough, since when you change your name, you also change the color energies that affect you. However, the natal chart energies, the energies that you were born under, that were active at the time of your birth, continue to influence you your entire life. They don't change.
Oh, wow.
The colors that, when you change your name as you grow up, I mean, we all do it. Women more than men. Men might go to, like using their initials as opposed to their full name, or they'll drop their middle name, or they'll start using their middle name, or, whatever. Women, traditionally get married, they change their name, or they do the same thing. They drop a middle name or whatever. But that's more of an overlay. The influences, they do affect you, but not to the level that your natal chart would.
Interesting. It's interesting that you say about changing names. I started using my middle name back in 2000 and I think 2000, probably 11 or 12, shortly after my mom crossed, and after I wrote my first book. I thought it was important for my full name to be on that book. And then, of course, after I got married, I added my husband's name to that, which is why I have 4 names. And most people really ask me, well, the name Angel, did you just throw that in because you just like the name Angel? And I'm like, no, that's actually my middle name. I was given that name at birth. So I have all these long names that go along with everything. So it's interesting. I would really be interested to see, and you and I are going to have to chat afterwards, so I can book an appointment with you to learn more about all the color that is within me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Anytime.
Yes, excellent. So now, because we have to connect with our viewers here. We don't want them to think we left them behind. What is one tip that you can offer to our viewers that they can implement immediately?
Okay. Think about your favorite color. Think about the colors that light you up inside. We all have them. Maybe we don't think that we can wear them, but my daughter's favorite color is pink, a certain shade of pink that just makes her so happy when she sees it. For me, it's what I like to call orange. There's orange, and there's bright orange, and there's all this, but the like day glow, slap you in the face kind of orange, I like to refer to as orange. And that just, to see that color just fills me with such joy. And everybody has that color, whatever it is. I mean, it can be purple. I know a lot of people that love turquoise blue will light them up.
Interesting that you say.
Yeah, yeah. And that turquoise blue is all about communication, clarity of message. It's soothing to the nerves. And we kind of instinctively go to that. And within that, if you really resonate with a color, take a moment and sit with it and analyze why it lights you up. And then if you can figure, you know instinctively why. But if there's a color in particular that you can recognize as a power color. I mean, I worked corporate for 30 years before I started doing this, and my favorite suit to wear when I had a meeting was a burgundy suit because I felt powerful.
Yes.
When I wore it. And then when I started analyzing what the colors are, it's red tempered with black. And so it kind of damps down, but it still is my red. I'm powerful. This is the I am. This is the I am here. And use those colors that light you up. Surround yourself with them, wear them, eat them, consume them. I mean, for me, for orange, hey, when I really want to internalize orange, I'll have some orange juice or, eat butternut squash soup or something, color is in everything around us, and we can assemble our world to support us, as well as we all have colors that we feel like will shut us down as well.
Yes, I love that.
And learning how to use them and when to use them is just practice.
I love that. In fact, I think when you and I met, if I'm not mistaken, I had vibrant, fiery red hair. If I'm not mistaken, like vibrant. Yeah, back then I was definitely trying to make a statement. I mean, if it's up to me, I'd go back and do it now. But my hairdresser's like, I think you want to calm it down a little bit. So, but anyway, it may show up again down the road. But like I said earlier, what I would love to do is offer you a reading. Now that you provided so much insight for our viewers, and especially that powerful tip in regards to helping our viewers really to understand, like to take that minute to be inquisitive of, like, why do I choose this color versus that color? And I'm sort of hoping that what you also do for our folks watching, it gives them a moment to look in their closet and say, okay, how much of what one color is in my closet, and do I have color in my closet? Because I know there's many women out there, and I hate to pinpoint the women, that wear black all the time.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, you know what? You got to put a little color in that wardrobe. Just a little bit of color in your wardrobe. Because it's as Deborah says, it's going to change, as her example with witnessing one of her clients. It's going to change your life when you wear color. It really does.
Even if it's just an accent, a scarf or a bracelet or a pin. I mean, anything that will trigger it in your mind.
Yes, even their undergarments. I mean, if they don't want the world to see them in color, they could wear something of color in their undergarment, just to spice that up, just to, for whatever their reasons to why they choose not to want to wear color. But I love that. So, Deborah, are you open to a reading?
Oh, sure.
All
absolutely.
Right. So what I'm gonna ask from you is for you just to give me your month and your day that you're born, not the year.
July 21st.
July. That's right. You are a Cancer, but on the cusp almost.
Cancer Leo, yep.
Yes. So you definitely like to have fun.
Yep.
To say the least. All right. So what I like for you to do for me is just to recite the name that you go by. Doesn't necessarily have to be the one you were born with, out loud 3 times, just so I can activate your energy.
My full name or?
Whatever name you go by that will help me to activate your energy, whatever you want to use.
Okay, Deborah.
And say it 3 times out loud.
Deborah, Deborah, Deborah.
Thank you. All right. Thought that was the card. Ah. For you, it's about being the master teacher, which you are, the master teacher. Okay. Now, being that you do card readings, and I'm sure you're into numbers, are you familiar with numerology?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you are in your 7 energy year this year, which is about, this is your year to like become more tuned to who you are on a deeper level. And it's also a time to explore on a deeper level, which, without going into full detail, what you experienced just 2 weeks ago to the date is part of that journey. To sort of get you to stop for a moment, to give you some time to reflect, reboot, recharge into what's coming for you in the new year. As the master teacher, this is really about what's coming for you in the new year. There's a massive, massive shift that's going to come in for you in 2023 as being the master teacher. The 3-8, that 11, is the master healer. With the work that you do, you're going to be helping many heal on a much higher vibration due to the color therapy that you, and I'm using color therapy, excuse me if I say that, the work that you do, with the class that you do. And offering this on a much, much higher scale is the word I hear. Now, the color here is the 3rd eye, which is all about the things you get to see from within that may not be surfacing. Like as you said earlier when we talked about the situation that took place 2 weeks ago, that you didn't see it coming. You know, you weren't supposed to see it coming. You know, it showed up for a reason, and there's a lot more to come with that that's showing up for you. All of it is positive. All of it is positive. Yeah. It's not. You're not. Whatever took place 2 weeks ago, that was a challenging part of it. Now it's really going to allow you to open up into that master teacher, and know that obviously you are the master teacher to many people out there. Does this resonate with you?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I wanted to just say that in my current appearance, if you will, as Deborah Beatty, I am a quadruple gold. All of on my chart, it's my environment, my inner self, my motivation, and my appearance is all gold. And
yes,
so that is definitely the master teacher.
Definitely. I love it. So, Deborah, if you wouldn't mind, just give your email for our viewers to reach you, because we do have to take another break.
Okay. It is contact@createdlife.com.
Awesome. Awesome. And for our viewers, Deborah will be back. She's going to be back on December 11th. And she's actually going to be holding a demonstration. So there's a volunteer that's going to be with us in 2 weeks, and it's definitely something you want to come back and watch, because you get to witness what Deborah does in her everyday life with her card deck. So, Deborah, it was a pleasure having you here today. And again, they can get your card deck at Etsy, you said? You have an Etsy?
Yeah, it's on Etsy. Just search for Coloricity. It's the name of my store. And they can order it there, or they can order it direct from my website.
Excellent.
And they can always drop me a line and say, hey, I want your card deck, but how do I get it? And
exactly.
You know, we can go low tech, high tech, whatever they want.
Exactly. Again, all that information to reach Deborah is on her website, so feel free to reach out to her. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and I will be right back with the conclusion of today's show. Again, Deborah, thank you so much for being here with me today.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kitty Foss.
And I'm Amy J.
And we're Intuition of the Soul. We are a Facebook and YouTube group that has created a sacred spiritual place to look at your spiritual practices.
And there's too much to tell you about what we do, but let me tell you, we have weekly activities, we have monthly activities, and you are not going to want to miss our spiritual practitioner series. So join us on Intuition of the Soul.
Aloha ora.
Did you know that stress and unprocessed emotions can store in your body, creating more muscle tension and pain, causing illness and disease to flare up? With the help of Chakra Balance Reiki healing, you can begin to feel better within one session. Hello, I'm Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, medical astrologer, master of numerology, and the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast Deck. And I would like to help you release issues from your tissues as you release emotional weight and begin to feel better physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. For more information, email healingwithin76@gmail.com. Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are just tuning in, you're just tuning in at the very last minute. You're definitely going to have to come back and watch on the replay. You can watch it here, YouTube. You can also watch on all major platforms, just to name a few, Roku and Amazon Fire TV. You missed an amazing show. I had an amazing guest, Deborah. She's a badass color mystic. And she has an amazing deck of cards that she does use when working with her clients. So you definitely want to come back and watch this. But with all that being said, she will be back on in 2 weeks from today, on the 11th of December. She will be doing a healing demo where she'll be doing, I believe it's going to be a card reading with one of our volunteers. So mark it on your calendar, save the date, circle it, whatever you need to do. Come join us on the 11th. To follow Deborah as she does demonstrate her work. Now, as usual, there's promos. Some of our amazing partners do amazing work. And there's a flyer that goes out. So feel free to just follow the flyers. And here we go. Drum roll. We have the Author's Porch magazine and podcast. Intuition of the Soul. Spirit messages and energy insight. Find your home. Kendra Career Astrology, and by yours truly, Magical and Mystical Medicine. I am excited to be here with you. And today's show was just as fabulous as most others, but this one was just really exciting because of the guest I had. And you too, if you are interested in becoming a guest and partner, you can. I am accepting applications now as we speak. I have 8 spots available. To learn more about that, email healingwithin76@gmail.com. I look forward to seeing you back in 2 weeks. For those who are celebrating, enjoy Thanksgiving. And for those who are not, just enjoy your week. Until next time, bye-bye for now.